I'm going to talk to you about the getting started guide, but it's really about getting started right and having that ability to be able to move very fast, because that's really what we're looking for as we're doing this, is how can we move fast with the business. And I really want to talk about simplifying the process as well, because I think as a lot of us know, that can become just a very, very big challenge for all of us. So let's jump into this. Before we do, you know what I want to do? I want to make sure everybody here is also that you have subscribed to the Market America channel. This is really important for you, and I'm hoping you did. You subscribe on YouTube to the Market America channel. But now you can, when you scroll down like this, you're going to see where it's going to say playlists. By the way, when you subscribe, what will happen is you get notified when new videos go on. That's why I'm saying subscribe to it. So if you go down to playlists, you have the ability, and I'll stop this so it doesn't play, but so you can see over here, you can take a look and see all the different Zooms that have been going on corporately, and they're all listed right here. So you have the ability to go in, and then of course you can share them with people. You can share them in groups, do different things by just clicking right here, and I could copy that and I could share that right into a group. You know, who wouldn't want to share our founder and our CEO, J.R. Ridinger, talking about residual income. It was a phenomenal session. He's done sort of back-to-backs on residual that I think everybody would want to be part of when you look at that. So anyway, I want to make sure you knew where to do that. So subscribe to the Market America YouTube station, and then make sure you go down to playlist right down here, and then you can get all of the playlists, everything that's been coming on, and I think, you know, so good for everybody to have. So let's jump back now to the PowerPoint, and let's talk about getting started fast. And, you know, when we talk about starting people and getting going, Lisa and I have always been big believers that the first 30 days are absolutely critical for success. You know, when you start somebody, they're at that height of when they want to do things. And if you don't get them started right away, what happens is then you've got people who they start to lose some of that belief that they can have, and we don't want, you know, that to happen as well. So we want to get them up, we want to get them running as fast as we can, if that's what they want to do. Now, sometimes people say, hey, I want to go a little bit slower. I'm coming in to just do it at my own pace, and that's fine as well. But you know, a lot of times people want to get started fast, but they're looking at you as the coach. And you might be saying, well, I'm pretty new though, Jim. I don't know how to coach them. Hey, if you're on these trainings, if you're learning, if you have senior partners, it's your job to help them get started fast. You know, I think, you know, one of the things we always have to look at is we have to look inside and not blame others if we're not succeeding the way we want to, and say, am I doing it right? Am I starting the people correctly? Am I doing everything I can to help them? Because when you are doing that, then you absolutely feel great about sponsoring people. You know, I've had people say to me over the years, well, I haven't sponsored some people lately because I sponsored a couple and it didn't go the way I wanted it to. They didn't succeed. Hey, if you did it perfect, if you helped them the way you should have, then if they didn't do it, they didn't do it. That's not on you. All you can be is the greatest coach that you can be, and support and help. But don't stop doing what you should be doing because the people you're trying to do it with aren't doing it. I hope that made sense. That sounded like a lot of words there. Now, the other thing I want to say is do everything you can as a team and as a teaching tool. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're going to be doing a getting started guide with somebody, why not have 2 or 3 other people on there? Why not have a senior partner? Maybe it's another partner on your other side, your other team, your other organization, and have them hearing how you're going to coach people through this. So do everything you can in teams and do it as a teaching tool anytime you have the ability to do that. We have our getting started guide. There's a couple places that you have the ability to pick this up. One is you can go in the back office, unfranchised.com, under help and training, under support materials. And when you do that, you can then download this did earlier today to make sure I had an up-to-date and fresh copy with me. Now, the newest one is back there. So if you updated it a week ago, you need to update it again. I'm going to tell you that because there are new ones there. The other thing is a lot of times you like having the nice, you know, a good looking, because these are just printed off of a local, your local computer. I like having the nice getting started guides, which also come to the new person when they start. They get a couple of these when they start, and you can order these. If you go in and you go under ordering, and when you go under ordering, just type in getting started guide, this will pull up, and you'll get a pack of 10, I believe it is, for $7.50. Great deal, you know, less than $1 each, and you've got it. You buy one pack, you've got those to use with your new people who come in. It looks a little bit more professional than one you just download. The download is really the option in case you don't have any, because we don't want you to miss having a getting started guide to help people with. All right, so you know, when you go in to get this, here's what it's going to look like. When I went in under help and training, I went under support materials, I typed in getting started guide, boom, it popped right up. Then you download it, so you're ready to go, just as I mentioned before, and it's the most up-to-date version. You can see it was actually updated just very, very recently. Now, here's a question that comes up quite a bit. Can you do a getting started guide before a person has opened their business? And the answer for me is yes on that. In fact, I'm going to go further. I like to go through the first couple pages of the getting started guide before I start someone. Now, you know, we spend a lot of time talking about evaluations, and we talk about qualifying people. And, you know, to me, one of the biggest mistakes we make is we start somebody and we don't tell them what it really takes to succeed. So then they're surprised with what they have to do. Well, you know, you never told me I was going to have to do things like this. Well, the Getting Started Guide has been laid out so that someone can A, start fast with the business, but B, be prepared with what they have to do. And I think those are really important things. So sometimes you're doing it before someone registers a business. Sometimes you're doing it maybe a couple days ahead while they're still working on getting people in front of you to evaluate it. You know, worst case scenario, you're doing it right when you do the startup. But here's the thing I do want to say, don't skip this step. This is a step. I will do a lot of trainings, and I'll ask people around the world, how many of you did the Getting Started Guide? And you'll see a very low percentage. And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, this is what I've been teaching my team from day one. It's the most up-to-date tool we have in terms of starting someone right off that way. Why would you go through all the work of trying to get someone to join into your business and then not do the work of making sure they're successful? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's a lot easier to take someone who's excited and wants to do it and teach them than go find somebody else and do it again. And it disrupts your team if you're not doing it, because you're not duplicating it down. So please make this something that becomes very, very important for you. And I've put on PowerPoint each sheet, so I'm just going to go through each one with you and talk about that. So I would sit down with somebody and I'd say, look, you know, I'm really excited about you partnering with us. This is going to be great. What I want to do is I want to go through the first couple pages of our, what we call our Getting Started Guide. Make sure we're both on the same pages. I don't want there to be any surprises once we get started. I want to make sure that we agree to the way we want to build together to do this effectively. I've told you, I don't have a huge amount of time. So if I'm personally bringing somebody in, I want to build with somebody the correct way. The first page right here, I have pre-filled out. I'm going to have who their senior partners are right there. So you can see it says senior independent unfranchised owner, senior certified executive coordinator, a couple of those, an advisory council member, who's the local coordinator in their area, and have that information. I'm going to probably not have their Q date filled out unless they've already started. And again, a lot of times I'm doing this ahead of time. So I may not have that in there. I may say, hey, you know what, Bill, if you start this week as we're planning, then your Q date will be Friday, and I'll write that in. I let them know the numbers that are in there that they can call if they have questions, but I'll also let them know, and again, this is where the coaching becomes so important. I will let them know that instead of calling those numbers, the first call should be to your senior partners. Why? Because it's the management performance compensation plan. And I love all of our incredible employees in Greensboro and everything they do. But I've always taught that's the last call, not the first call. The first one is to your sponsor. The next one's to your senior executive coordinator to see if there's a question you have, unless it's shipping or unless it's something like that. If there's a question business-wise, go to your teammates. So I'm teaching them this right off the bat. I'm showing them where they can follow us and join us. And right there, it says subscribe to Market America on YouTube. So we want to get things like that taken care of while we're sitting there. I'll say, why don't you just, here, go there. Let's do a couple of these while we're talking. Then the next page is where we get into the meat of how we're gonna make some money. And it goes into developing your unfranchised business. And it says, follow these guidelines. Following these guidelines will be one of the key success factors in developing your unfranchised business. At this point now, let's say we're doing this by Zoom, right, guys? Because we're not going to be able to sit down with them like we would. Normally, I'm sitting side by side with someone, but a lot of times we're doing things at a distance. And now we're definitely not going to be sitting side by side with them. So I'm going to be sharing this on my Zoom screen. I'm going to have them have printed one off, or I've printed it off and I've sent it to them in an email so that they can then have it in front of them. And what I'm going to say is, okay, Bill, what I want you to do is take your pen here, and I want you to check these off. I'm going to commit to following the unfranchised proven business plan for a minimum of 12 months. What I'm going to say is I need you to commit to that, because you're not going to know how it works in 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. This is a 2 to 3 year business plan. When I started, I told the lady who was training me, I said, I will give this 12 months. I will do it right. At the end of 12 months, I will reevaluate and see if it makes sense. But I knew I would not know anything really until I got to that 12-month period. So can you commit to doing that? Boom, they check it. Can you commit to 8 to 15 hours per week to complete the tasks and activities outlined in this plan? They might say to me, Jim, we've already talked about this. I'm already getting people in front of you. Definitely, I'll squeeze it in. Great. Check that off. Purchase a ticket to the next scheduled global meeting, training, and seminar system. Now, our next scheduled one may be an online one that we're doing, or it may be international convention. And if I haven't talked to them about this at that point yet, this is why I like doing this ahead of time. I have the ability to say, Bill, I haven't talked to you a lot about our major events. 2 major events a year. There's one in Miami in February. There's one in Greensboro in August. Obviously, we're all hoping everything's going to be great by August when we get through all this that we're going through now. And I do know it's vital, if you want to build the way you're telling me you want to build, that you'll need a ticket to international convention. In fact, when I started, I bought 3. I actually bought 4 right away, because I knew if I wanted to build, I needed to have tickets for other people as well. So I'd like to get a ticket in your hand, and we can work that out. You could, Venmo me the money. I can mail it to you, because again, I'm not going to be sitting next to them. Now, if I was sitting next to them, I would have that ticket right on top of the Getting Started guide. I would have their local ticket right on the Getting Started guide, but it's a different time. So we're going to be doing this through Zoom like I'm doing with you right now. So we've got to change our verbiage a little bit. Convert spending into earning by visiting unfranchised.com and completing the shopping annuity assessment. And I might take them on Zoom right then and show them on mine where that's at, how they do that. And I'll say, when you start, this will be one of the first things we'll be going through. And I want to show you how you're already using a lot of the products, as we've talked about, that you're buying from somewhere else. Listen to a minimum of 2 audios per week from our unfranchised media app. And I'll say, okay, hold my phone up, and I'm going to say, what I'd like you to do is download that app right now, and let's get it on the phone, and let's make sure, because you can start listening to it immediately. Bill, here it talks about implementing the Master Unfranchised Owner Program, and I know you don't know what that is yet. We're going to talk about it as we go through this, but that's sort of the gold standard of what we want to do, because it involves retailing, it involves the training classes, it involves using products, it involves identifying people to partner with you in the business. So it follows everything that we do, and it's one of the things we're going to talk about over and over again. I just want to introduce the terminology to you right now. And then we're going to talk about our basic 5s. In fact, there's some audios and videos I want you to watch right away, and start learning immediately about our basic 5 fundamentals. Hopefully, I may have even already sent them some of this as they're coming on the process and they're bringing people to me. And then we're going to talk about developing 10 regular preferred customers ordering the company's exclusive products. I want to get BV producing customers right off the bat. And we'll talk about how we're going to do that as we go through. So he's check, 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 check. And there also this might be a great time where he's asking me some questions. Well, do I have to go to that company, thing in Greensboro? You don't have to, but if you want to be successful, you're going to want to go, and you're going to want to bring as many people as you want to go. And that's why I'm bringing it up to you right away. You may say, well, have to have 10 customers. I just want people in the business. Yes, you need to develop 10 to 15 regular customers. I'm going to help you do it. I know you're interested in building a business out and expanding, but no business is a good business if it doesn't have customers. So we're going to have conversations, and he's going to start to learn the culture of how we build and what we do. Then the step 2 says enter important dates in your calendar. Well, those dates, I'm going to say, okay, here's the next UBP, and I'm going to do whatever the local UBP where he is, that's what I'm going to put in there. Now, if we don't have a local UBP, guess what I'm going to put in? I'm going to find one from another area, or I'm going to use the big corporate one that we do. Like I'll be doing this Thursday, I'm doing our big corporate one. So I put that date in to say, I want you to hear the business plan. New one franchise owner train. Let's go on the GMTSS and let's take a look. I'm going to have dates prepared. So again, I'm the senior partner. I'm going to be prepared for dates I can put in there. And right now, as you know, with most people being at home, it's not real hard to say, here are the dates of this, here are the dates of this. Are you available? Well, yeah, I'm sitting at home for most people. So we can get those done. If not, I'll have some secondary dates set up. Go through and do that with everything I can there. Some things we're not going to be able to do because things are being moved out further, like some of the regional conventions and such. But we're going to talk to them and let them know what they are. I guess, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself, some of you might be thinking, this sounds like it takes some time. When I do a getting started, a guide, and then a registration, it's typically an hour to an hour and a half, sometimes longer if there's a lot of questions back and forth. It is not sit down, give me your ID number, let's sign you up, good luck in the business, see you later. That doesn't work. And that's a joke, and it's bad for our company, to tell you the truth. I want to make sure they have a good idea of what they're doing and why. From a result producing activity standpoint, again, we're going to go down. So let's think of your top 10 people, Bill, that you think if they business would be the best. And the reason, I know you may be a little scared to talk to them, but I want you to think of the best people you can think of, and I'm going to help you with approaching them on an evaluation approach so that we can get them to look at this, evaluate it, and they may know some people who would be good for your business. So you don't have to put a lot of pressure on yourself to do that. And of course, we've got great videos coaching on this, on again, the YouTube station for Market America. We've got how to do call workshops. We've got Lose the Script. We've got JR going through it in numerous ones. You just have to take a look and spend some time. There'll be a whole bunch more by the time this next month or two is done as we continue to expand on that. So now we've finished that page. So now what I want to do is this is where we're going to get them started fast. Let's schedule a call workshop. And let's you and I schedule a time. We'll jump on. We'll do a Zoom together. You make calls. You can hear me make calls. I'll put mine on speaker so you can hear it. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. But then a little bit. We'll talk about it before we make the calls. Like, why are you calling this person? When are you hoping to book them into? What's an alternative if you can't do it then? And that way, by doing it together, we help them get those appointments booked. I'm not doing the call for him. I'm there to coach him before and after. I've always been a big believer, if I can get people to make calls initially with me there supporting, then they're not going to be as scared to do it when I'm not there. We're going to talk about scheduling, a couple 2-on-1s and 1-on-1s by Zoom. If you're coming in, I want to get in front of at least 2 people a week to have them evaluate the business. And we can do that by booking Zoom appointments and doing that. And by the way, I know we've got all these trainings going on right now. And they're great. And by people, I mean, you have Mark Ashley one day, you have JR another, you have Dennis Franks another, Phil Guido, and Andrew Chi, and I could go on with all the people who are doing this, and are Dr. D, and they're great. But don't make a mistake and become a professional Zoom meeting attender who doesn't do anything other than attend. If you have a chance to do a 2-on-1, do that 2-on-1 and then watch the replay of the video. If you have a chance to do something that's result producing, do that and watch the replay at 11 at night or early in the morning while the kids are running around doing something. Whatever it is, but don't sacrifice your result producing activities to just watch, say, well, I'm working because I'm watching a video. That's great. You are learning. It's fantastic. But keep our focus where we want to go to build a great business. Now it says a product preview or a wellness event. What a great thing to do online. I got to tell you, these events online right now, you can do so much with them. You can tell the new person, here's what I want you to do. I want you to invite people to come on, and I'm going to be there, or maybe you'll have a teammate who's with you, and we'll do it by Zoom, and we'll talk about the products for you. We'll pick 10 to 15 products depending on what university they've decided they're coming in. If it's nutrition, I might go really heavy right now and talk about some of the products in the that help with immune support and different things like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to offer them, Bill, a 10% discount if they register as a customer from you and buy a product that in the next 24 hours. So we're going to tell them how we're going to do that. We're going to show them how they can register, and we can do it all with Zoom. So do you know how much easier it is to get somebody right now to sit down and to look at a product presentation, a wellness presentation especially, while they're at home, and to help your new person get customers? Simple to do, easy to do. Make sure you take the time to do it, because here's the goal. And I know I've got a session on this later on in the next few weeks talking about base 10-7 strong. We have to get people making money. We have to get people getting customers. We have to get them generating BV. That's a win. They feel good. When they get the repeat business, they feel great. We need to support that and get that moving for them right off the bat. You know, many times as I look at this business, I'm coaching people. If people like our products and they make money with our products, retailing them, they are never going to leave your business. The only people who ever leave are the people who don't move products. So let's get them moving products. A home business presentation. Have them set up. Again, you'll set it up, have them invite, coach them, and this is where the call workshops can come in, coach them to how to invite people to get on one night. Maybe you do it as a meeting so you can see each other, or you can do it as a webinar so they can't see you. You depend on what you like better. But either way, it's a real simple thing to do. And then you take the PowerPoint, or abbreviated UBP PowerPoint, which is right in your back office again, and you use that, and you can go through and talk about that. You can later on maybe add a couple products that you want to do at the end and talk about those, because you're always trying to move products during everything, but you're doing a Zoom presentation. So what have I done with my new person? I've helped them make calls, I've helped them get customers, and I've helped expose the business so people can evaluate. If you're doing this, you realize that a new person is off and running. Of course, we're going to teach them to download Shop Buddy. We're going to work on an answer to what is it. We're going to tell them the tools we have to be able to use and go through those. Boom, section 1 is done. That's great. Now let's go to section 2, your why and goal statement. Again, if I'm with somebody, I can keep going through this right away. I want to get through section 1 for sure that I just did. I would like to get through section 2 in the first appointment with them. To be effective, we talk about the goals. So what is your reason you want to do this business, Bill? I know we've talked about it. And you know, let's make sure we write it down, and let's talk about what, if someone said, Bill, why are you doing this? You're a successful guy. Why would you look at a business out of your home? And we might, you know, there's some great reasons right now to be able to write down. Based on what's happened in the world right now, I feel I need another stream of income. Based on what's going on right now, I was looking for some great products to support my immune system. I found a business behind it. Based on what's going on in the world right now, I want to be prepared in the future if anything ever happens again. And I found a business that you can build online that in fact it actually is growing during this time. So you can write down numerous reasons why the person wants to do it, but you'll work with them to do that. Then their personal goals, decide what they want. What do you want out of this? You know, on this part, I've had a lot of people say things like, well, you know, they'll say some big number. I'll say, okay, let's start smaller first. Let's break down the smaller first. What would be a great goal? What would you do if we made $1,000 a month? What would you do with that money? Let's talk about that initially. What would you do with $1,000 a month? What would it take to pay your house payment with your side business? How much would we need to do in your side business so you don't have a house payment anymore? It's all paid from what we do with that. And I'll ask those questions on the goals and try to help them think a little bit. Now, some people are very detailed, some are not as detailed. When do you want it by? When do you want to hit a certain goal by? When would you like to do it? And set target dates for some of those goals. Because remember, if you don't have a date, it's a dream. You got to put a date on it so you know it's a goal. And determine what they're willing to do in terms of time, effort, and sacrifice. You know, right now, a lot of people have time, but a couple months from now, man, it's going to be like open the floodgates and people are going to be doing everything they can, and they're going to be in summer and they're going to be out. You know, you got to talk about saying we're going to have some discipline. You know, you told me 8 to 10 hours per week. What could we do in terms of what days could we do that? What could we commit? You'll see that coming up here. And then develop a plan of action. Well, really, I've already developed it. I'm going to say, Bill, here's our plan of action. We're going to get in front of 2 people a week. We've already scheduled your wellness event and your Zoom home event where we're going to get people on to evaluate the business for you. And we're going to repeat these 2 people a week. Next month, we'll do another product event, and next month, we'll do another home event, especially now while we've got people who are available to come, and we're going to get you started fast with this, and then we'll set up a schedule of your Zoom events and your audios you'll be listening to. So look at some of these daily tasks and activities. Add and cultivate 2 possibilities a day. We'll talk about doing that with social media, with just building a good names list and how to build a really good names list. Calling 1 to 3 prospects on that possibility list and see if we can schedule 2 appointments a week for those evaluations. Promote the business through word of mouth and social media. You know, now it's going to be a lot more social media and phone calls or texts or messages than it would be where we're out and about seeing people. And then presenting it. And you can't expect that new person to be able to do it. So you're going to have to support them. You're going to have to teach them how to use some of the videos as well and different things like that. Invite customers, how they can earn cash back as they visit shop.com. Listen to audios. Use the Market America products daily. That's a big thing with new people. Get them to use those. And read their goal statement. You know, and you want to develop that goal statement. And read it twice daily as if it's happening. You know, what is happening with that? Then this part has always been one of my favorite parts. It's business goals and objectives. I will commit how many hours per week. So let's narrow it down. Do you think you can do 10 hours a week? Okay, yes, great. I think I can do 12. Let's put 12 in. How many nights per week will you be able to do it? So I can do at least two for sure. You know, a couple hours a night. Great, let's do that. When you want to sponsor 2 people by, this bill will help me know how fast you want to move with this. So how quickly would you like to do that? Sometimes you have people say, I would like to have done it yesterday. Sometimes you have people who say, you know, in 6 months. Then I'm going to break it down and say, okay, so let's look at it this way. I'm going to use 1 out of 5. If you want to sponsor 2 people in the next 4 weeks, then we need to get this in front of 10 people in the next 2 weeks, because it's going to take some time for them to get other people in front of it with us, and for us to see if they're the right kind of people, and to know which ones are attracted to what we're doing and which ones we're attracted to doing this business with. So we've got to talk about that, and I'm now putting the numbers together for them so that they can really understand what we're doing and how we'll do it. When do they want to reach coordinator by? When do you want to get that first check? And that'll be dependent on how fast we move products and how fast we build that organization. When do you want to reach executive coordinator by? And again, I'm coaching because they don't know exactly what to do with this. And if the goals are way too aggressive, I'm going to tell them that's aggressive. You know, let's look at this. If you want to do that aggressive, then we got to get ready to crush it, because you're going to have to do a lot of work to get there. But now we're getting on the same page of how fast we want to move. We're getting on the same page of the way we're gonna work together. And he's seeing that I'm a coach and a mentor, not just someone saying, hey, fill this out and, you know, good luck, get it done, and we'll see you later. And what do you want to earn in an annual commission amount? What would at the end of a year, what would you like to make? And then on the second year, what would you like to make? We're going to talk about the customers. We're talking about personal use of products. I want to get somebody who's brand new. We want to get them using 100 to 200 BV in products as fast as possible. So we got to, again, that shopping annuity assessment when we can get together. Again, of course, you can always use the home shopping list, but we want to get that going. Now, a new person, I don't expect them to get to 500 BV right away. I want them to use 1 to 200, so they're trying different things in their home. Our ultimate goal is, as you can see in the getting started, move them to 500 BV worth of product monthly, but we want to move them through that, you know, on a realistic pace. And then we want to get them purchasing 30 to 50 IBV from their shop.com site. And ultimately, we want them doing 100 IBV per month. But initially, let's identify some areas that they can buy things. We're going to get them on the auto ship. We're going to talk about some of the IBV products and get that going so it makes sense. That we've talked about a base 10 of customers ordering 40 BV. What's 40 BV? Well, a great 40 BV product is the Daily Essentials packets. How many families do you know that need care and want to be healthy right now in this world? And there's so many. Organizational volume, we're going to talk about what we want to do from a creation of, if you're using 100 and you have 400 being created by customers, you're now at 500 BV. If you're using 30 IBV right off the bat, you're now creating a lot of volume, and you can teach other people to do that. And then it goes through and it just shows, if you're doing this, what kind of income that turns into as you have more business partners. And I don't know if everybody's taken time to look at this, but it shows you right off the bat, first 3 to 6 months equates to you plus 3 on your left, 3 independent unfranchised owners on your right, each creating 500 BV and 30 IBV. Now, some of you, they're going to create a lot more than that. I'm talking the first month or two. Then we're moving towards what? We want at least 100 IBV a month, because we want them to hit the 300 IBV so they can hit Master UFO. Then you go down to the next one. You can see now, to create $600 monthly, after 8 months, you would need to have 5 independent unfranchised on your left, 5 on your right. Again, base 10, 7 strong, and it just keeps going through with that. But now the numbers start to become realistic for them, and the next step shows that the diagram right here of base 10, 7 strong, and what they can do to do that. So now, if I can get through all this on one appointment, fantastic. Then my next appointment is my section 3. Sometimes I get through one section, sometimes I get through 2. It depends on how much is going back and forth between us. So now let's talk about when I get back together. So if I went through section 1 and 2, and then say they're getting started, they're at that point, they're ready, and I'm now registering them. Again, remember, I'm trying to do the getting started guide before I register, either in a set appointment before, or at the time we're going to do the registration before, because now they've already proven they can get people in front of me. They can do the right things, but now I want to lay out what we're going to do. So now we get back together. Let's review what they're using on their why. How do you feel it's working? Do you feel good with it? We want to review their answer to what is it. I'm going to have given them a couple ideas on that what is it ahead of time. We want to review their possibilities list. You know, Bill, I know we've contacted personally together 20 of these people in the first week, because we're trying to get people into your home business presentation as fast as possible. And by the way, you could, in today's day and age, under the climate we're in right now, you could bring somebody into the business. They could do a home wellness event 2 days later, because it does not take a long time to call people up who are sitting at home anyway and say, hey, could you give me 45 minutes? I'd love for you to just turn on the computer and learn about what I'm doing with my new business in terms of some of the wellness products. I think they could be very beneficial for you and your family or people you know. So, you know, it's not the normal lead time where you might need a week or 2. I got to make calls. I got to get the house clean. It's not happening. All you got to do now is get people online to be able to do this. So we're going to review that possibility. Let's review the top 10 list. And, you know, we want to see not only the top 10 list, but how many people we got in front of there. Are there other people we need to talk to? Discuss what you've learned from listening to audios and watching videos. You know, you might give an assignment. You might say, we're at a unique time in our business where I'd like you to watch 1 video a day off of our Zoom playlist, because these are all very up to date. They're brand new. I'd like you to watch that. And let's talk about some of these. Reviewonfranchise.com. I can't believe how many people bring people in a business and never show them how to order on unfranchise.com, never show them where BV needs to be placed. So again, you just take in with Zoom, simple again, share your screen or share their screen and show them how to do it. Reviewtheshop.com functionalities, things like Shop Buddy, e-gifts, price alerts, comparison shopping, trend shops. I mean, I've got a trend shop put together right now, excuse me, of all antioxidant products, immune-based products, because I want to be able to send one link and people can just go in there and see all of them at one time. Reviewthemarketamerica.com corporate information site. That's a great site to send out. I'm definitely going to be reviewing too the digital credibility, education and credibility piece we have with my new person. That's one of the videos I want them to watch because I want them sending that out to people we've talked to. Because you, excuse me, you know how people are. They Google everything in the world. We want to make sure we've got the answers to that right off the bat. And that's such a great piece to do that. Excuse me, I've got a little aloe and water here that I'm going to take a little drink of. How do you guys like that screen behind me? That's a Zoom feature that you all have where you can download pictures. Like I could take this right now and I could put an Arizona background behind me. I could do all sorts of things with that, but you have that and you can actually download that and make your own background if you want to, if you don't want to just have what's behind you right now. And by the way, on Zoom, I know some of us are scared of it and a little nervous about it. They have great videos to watch how to do anything you want to learn. I was on with a customer actually yesterday and she wanted to know, they were doing a family social hour and she wanted to know how to show the screens and stuff. And I took her to Zoom and showed her all the videos she could look at on that. She's like so thankful. And that's all we have to do. Take a little time and do. By the way, then she bought some OPC3. So it was a wonderful coaching moment of Zoom and our products. You can see all the mobile applications we can do. We can review their goal statement together, which they've really put together in a good way now. Review the action plan and what have we been doing. By the way, when should a follow-up appointment occur? Probably your follow-up is going to be, in this day and age, I would say within a week. I'm going to be back with them to give them time because we're going to be moving fast with everything we're doing now. We're going to talk about products they're using and what they can do. We'll review the potential customers, a possibility list for customers. Again, and you see this multiple times here, but develop that base 10, ordering the customer's products, host that overview, make sure we've got that going. So it repeats what we're setting up. Now we're making sure, have we done it? Check it off, check it off. What about the nutri-physical and nutritional analysis? So many people don't even know where that is. If you go to your shop.com site and just type in nutri-physical, if you haven't taken it, that's a wonderful thing for you to take, and it's a great thing for your customers to take as well. And then, of course, introducing them to our shop.com site as well, their personal one. Step 4, and you'll notice we're going right through the basic 5 here on the Getting Started guide. I'm so thankful for all the people. Thanks for the nice comments you guys are putting in, and thanks for being on, because I think you can teach your teams this. Jackie, you're right. It's so duplicatable to be able to do. And we talk about prospecting, qualifying, and sponsoring now, and the different ways we can do that. You know, on here, we put on the video approach to make it really simple. But now with everything going on with Zoom, again, I would be booking appointments with you should be making your senior partners work. You know, when I'm bringing somebody in, I'm letting them know, I don't work for, you don't work for me, I work for you. Because if you come in the business, I'm going to be helping you. I'm going to be working with you. I'm going to be doing all these. So I'm really working for you. So put me to work because I want to work for you as my new person. So Rodney, I'll take questions afterwards, but I will answer this one. The Zoom webinars on the MA playlist are usually put on the next day. I got to give credit out to Dave Lieberstein and our multimedia team, and Kate Vales and Chris Petticourt, all the people who are, you know, putting everything together. They are so phenomenal that you'll see something like this live today and tomorrow or Monday. Now that's a weekend. It's on there live. It really is. Hats should go off. There's so many people doing so many things corporately to make our business so good for us as unfranchised owners to be able to do that. That, you know, I'm fortunate enough to be behind the scenes with them, and I just have such an appreciation and love for these people for what they're doing to help all of our unfranchised owners. And then then we go into the last part here after, you know, different ways of prospecting, qualifying, and that's the follow-up and ABC pattern. And again, now we're going through, have we done all these things? And again, you're checking the box, checking the boxes, checking the boxes. Then of course, this is where they can fill out their own possibilities list right here. Here's the organizational chart that they have, and you want to start putting in names here as they start bringing in people so they can see how this goes. Remember, we always want to have 4 personally sponsored on the left, 4 personally sponsored on the right. 2 is just starting, and I hope you all say that when you're showing the plan. You know, 2 is how we start being able to earn commissions. It's not where we stop. Like any organization, we want to continue to build and expand. And you want to have, why do you want 4? Well, you want to make sure you've got that protection on each side of your business. So you've always got somebody personally sponsored, and you want to build in depth because then you're supporting the rest of the team while you're doing that. And last but not least, on your getting started guide, you have the master on franchise owner criteria. Now, again, I'm not going to go through this with them right away. I'll do this on a second or a third appointment together, and we'll go through that. But now they've got something that they can carry around with them, that they have, that they can reference. They've got everything put together. They know what to do with it. And yes, it's taking me a few hours to do this with them. But guys, you're bringing new people in. Shouldn't you put some hours into them right off the bat to make sure they know what they're doing, let alone the hours we need to do to produce result-producing activities? Little aloe and water again. And that really runs you through the getting started guide. Let's recap a little bit on some things, and I'll add some things. You start a new person correctly, welcome them on Facebook. If you have a Facebook group, which I know a lot of people do, welcome them on Facebook. Put a picture of them and say, hey, I'd like to welcome, you know, Lisa to the team. We've been working. She's already put 4 people in front of me, a couple people getting ready to go. It's exciting to have her. Now, I'll tell you what I like for my teammates to do, because I work off of email lists and I work off of social media. And I'll tell you why. I don't think everybody's on social media all the time. And I do know that things pass too quick, that people miss them very quickly. So I will email out a lot of things. So I love when somebody brings in a new person and they send me an email and it's got the name, it's got the phone number, it's got the email. So I can just add them into my contact of my emails and I can send it out. Don't think your senior partners are sitting in there and trying to find everybody's emails. It would take too long. Much easier for you to send that to them and then have them add if they have an email list. And I hope the senior partners do keep an email list, because you need to contact people in multiple ways. JR's always talked about this. I've done it forever as well. You just have to have, in this day and age, multiple ways to reach them. Sell them a ticket to the next upcoming event, or get them on the upcoming trainings that we have going on, the Zoom trainings. Book, I love calling these ZBPs, a Zoom business presentation, which is like if you want to think of it, it's like a home business presentation. We're doing it on Zoom, or a ZPP, a Zoom product presentation. Just what we needed, more acronyms in our company, right? But that's what we're doing, and by the way, these business presentations, you can get more guests than I've ever had when I was doing them in the homes, when we're doing it like this right now, because people are so open, people are so ready, and they're sitting at home. Make sure you've made that, they've made that names list, and help them make calls. We talked about that, a call workshop. We're booking our 2 one-on-one Zoom meetings each week, so that we're getting in front of some people. And remember, while you're talking to the new person's prospect, you're really training the prospect. And then help them set up their shop.com site, which we talked about, and walk them through unfranchise.com. So make sure they've got that site set up. They know how to order. They understand where to find some of the help and training, the materials. They understand where to look for meetings on GMTSS. And then get them a list of all the Zoom meetings going on currently. We do a great job of doing it on the Market America blog, on the Unfranchised blog. They have a list of all the upcoming ones for the week. And you can go to the back, like I said, to Market America YouTube to find the ones that are on there that have been done. So that, is really a quick run through what I was going to, not that quick, 45 minutes, what I was going to talk about. I'll take questions for about 5 minutes or so. If there are any questions, you can do it in the question part So if someone asks, can I use my shop.com / as my name on Facebook or somewhere else? So as your name on Facebook, I don't know if I understand that completely. Usually I think you have to be who you are, or you should be who you are on Facebook. Yes, you can put your shop.com / out and let people know you have that. Someone else, I'm not sure I could spend enough to earn 200 BV per month, at least in the beginning. Seems like a lot to me. You know what I would say? So start off trying to do 100 BV per month, and look at what that would be, and look at replacing. So that's a great question. I hope I pronounced it right, Quadira. Look at, can I replace my laundry detergent? Can I replace my fabric softener? Can I replace any of my hair care products? Can I replace my skin care? Can I replace any of my cosmetics? As you're running out of what you currently use, replace it with the company. And I'm sure you're going to be using different things as well, whether it be from the daily essentials packs, things like that. But don't think of doing it in day one. Think of building to that. That's why I said start with like 100 and see if you can build to 200. Then eventually it'll keep, for Lisa, we've just replaced everything we do. Even when we're traveling, we're bringing everything with us. So we have it and we're using it wherever we're at. Do we have any other questions on what we just covered on the Getting Started guide? If we don't have any, I'm going to say to everybody, have a great, great Saturday. I'm going to ask you to say, oops, I got a couple more that popped up. Sorry. You're welcome. And on the name thing, they might be able to use that for a Facebook page. Okay, thank you for that answer. And Cordera said some products through shop cost more than I currently spend. And now again, think of what I'm saying, BV, those are the exclusive products. So you're going to be getting those at cost. As an unfranchised owner, don't buy those on your shop.com, buy those on your unfranchised.com. So you make sure that you have the ability to get them at cost and do that. So that'll help you with that. Again, if there are questions, put them in the question and answer area for there, but appreciate it. You guys are great. Stay healthy. Take care of yourself. And I look forward to, I think I'm on a number of times this week doing some different broadcasts. So I look forward to seeing you guys a lot. Keep building, have fun, stay safe, love you, and take care. Bye-bye.